All right, well, some days you do 139 miles per hour and the car comes back perfectly fine. And then some days you do 119 or 118 and the car catches on fire.
She's on fire. She's on fire, bro.
And you chunk a tire at the same time. So, yeah, that was pretty fun. I think that I really just kind of pushed the ESC a little too hard this time. Made the gearing really tall. So pushed a little hard. As you can see, this ESC is pretty well toasted. I'll put up the footage here in just a second. You'll hear tire chunked out, and then the ESC cuts out, and there's a nice little smoke show. This battery is sitting next to here, and you can see, I don't know. We checked the cells. All the cells on it are good. Resistance is good. I'm not too scared of keeping it. Probably going to wrap it in tape and send it again. Anyway, this kind of, but not really, messes up some plans. I made this because I want to go really fast. So this is a dual motor mount. These are just some old motors I have on here for, I guess, display purposes. But I got a second one of these ESCs that now I'm not so confident about using again. We'll see what I choose. But then we've also got a second 3674 Rocket RC motor, 2000 kV again, matching motor. And I think in this video, real quick, we're going to be slapping these motors on here and putting them in the car. We'll go ahead and get that knocked out. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got everything in there except for we're still waiting on a replacement for this ESC, but everything seems like it's going to fit just fine. The second ESC is going to go right up here. Should fit, clear the body just fine. I'm going to swap these over to some 6.5 millimeter pin, or yeah, 6.5 millimeter pins, just like these, and then do the same to the power side. We should be ready to rock and roll. Alright, so a couple things have happened since the last part of this. I went ahead and put the 6.5 millimeter bullet connectors on the ESC on the first one and mounted it down, put it on the motor side as well. And then we were waiting on the second ESC to show up, which actually is right here. Got that ready to go. But before we install that, and while I was waiting on that, I went ahead and made this. It's a new rear shock tower to get rid of this metal one. This one was kind of useless to me at this point. So we're going to go ahead and throw this new shock tower on, get it all hooked up to the suspension, and then we're going to put our second ESC in place in here, get the 6.5 millimeter bullet connectors on it, and see what this thing looks like. Guys, so as you can see, this insane dual motor build is pretty much finished. Well, I've got everything heat shrinked, everything is in there, mesh is set, both the ESCs are in there. This thing is absolutely crazy. I don't know if you can see, we got these two massive 3674 brushless motors in here, 220 amp ESCs, and this thing is gonna fly. Definitely pretty sweet looking setup. Only thing I got left to do is mount these two little pieces, two little on-off switches down with some double-sided tape. But look at this. This is absolutely insane. Last thing we were waiting on for this car is a set of wheels. We finally got that. Went with the carbon black set this time. If you're kind of unfamiliar with speed runs, you don't run a rubber tire like these would be. Even if they're belted above like 120 mile an hour, they tend to blow out. So when you're doing some speed runs and you're getting to some serious speed, these are what you run. These are 42 Shore, 26 millimeter wide, contact racing foam tires. Honestly, I can't tell you what they're actually meant for, but what I use them for and what a lot of other people use them for is speed runs. They work great because they don't balloon out, and the hard 42 Shore foam tends to stick together pretty well. So we're gonna go ahead and slap this set of wheels on there and see what this thing looks like all together. All right, guys. So a little tip when installing wheels on your Speedrun WLtoys car. They tend to have pretty short and stubby little axles to thread the lock nuts onto, and just a tiny bit of super glue can really help keep that on there. You really won't have a problem getting that wheel nut off there again with it, but just put a little drop of super glue on the threads. I've tried Loctite. It doesn't seem to work as well, but a little drop of this stuff will really hold that wheel nut on there, and you won't end up losing a wheel during your pass.
Something came off. I think my wheel came off.
Woo! I'd say that looks pretty darn good. I like the black wheels on there. All right, so that should be a pretty much finished car. The only thing I got to do is for the body to clear everything, just trim a couple corners off, a little bit off the corners right here, not much, just a tiny bit. I really don't have to do that. I could move this back a little further, but I want to keep the weight as far forward as possible with the electronics on this car. So at this point, what we got left to do is bench test this real quick. See if everything is set up correctly. I'm pretty sure I got both the motors turning the right direction. Yeah, make sure it all runs. See what it sounds like. I got a couple of 3S lipos that are a couple matching pairs here. We're going to see what this thing does before we get out and test it on the road, I guess. What do you guys think? How fast do you think this car is going to go? Comment down below what you think we're going to do this weekend. And just remember, at the end of the day, this car is actually going to be ran on 6S. These are just a couple of 3S. But yeah, this car is definitely a 6S car. Geared pretty darn tall. Our best on our single motor setup was 139 miles per hour. So I think with this dual motor setup, we should do pretty well. See what it does. Plug in the signal booster. I'm using an old RC4GS with a signal booster on it. Just a Wi-Fi signal booster that I wired in through the antenna. But all right. is barely moving the throttle. That's pretty wild, guys. Oh my. That's just 3S. That is scary. What a scary, what a scary machine. All right, well, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, all we gotta do now is wait for the weekend. I forgot to put in my telemetry wire, so I'm gonna do that. Trim up these edges so we can fit our body over here just fine, and let's see what this car can do. All right, well, this absolutely crazy car is finished. All we gotta do is wait for the weekend, get it out, and we're gonna see the probably, hopefully, crazy numbers this thing will put out. I'm hoping for 150 plus. You know, we'll see how it goes. If everything goes well on a if we get a clean 6S pass in with this car, it's definitely going to do more than 150. But 150 is what I'm hoping for. Thank you guys for checking out the video. It really means a lot if you would comment and like. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'd like for a lot of people to see these videos. I put a lot of work into this. I've never made a single penny. Not a single penny has ever gone into my pocket from making my YouTube videos. So it really would mean a lot if you guys could just comment, like, share, do whatever you can for this channel, and of course subscribe. I appreciate it. Can't wait to show you guys part 2 and see what this car can do. Thank you and have a great day.